At that time, Cohen was staying in the ashram's common guest room. As a serious seeker, he felt he needed solitude for his sadhana, which the crowded room could not offer. He went to Bhagavan and asked, "Bhagavan, may I stay in a hut outside the ashram to pursue my sadhana?" Getting an affirmative answer from Bhagavan, he had a hut built in Palakotu, the growing sadhu community. Since Cohen was a chronic asthmatic patient, Bhagavan took care that he should not go into a wet hut by advising him, "Wait for it to dry up." Cohen later told me he often wondered how Bhagavan knew that he was an asthmatic. For the housewarming ceremony of his hut, Cohen invited Bhagavan and the other devotees. When Bhagavan entered Cohen's hut, he told him, "Do not put a chair for me or anything." Then he sat on a mat on the floor along with the others. After the ceremony, when Bhagavan was leaving, Cohen followed him and, full of emotion, prayed to him, "Bhagavan, you have given a home for this body. Will you please give me an eternal home for my soul also? It is only for this that I have come here, severing all ties with family and worldly affairs." Bhagavan kept walking and after a little time turned to him and said, "Cohen, your firm conviction brought you here. Where is the room for doubt?" Cohen's only income was the meager interest that he was getting from his savings of 7,000 rupees. While living in his hut at Palakotu, he would cook a little rice and vegetable every morning, after which he would go to the ashram to be with Bhagavan. He would come back only for his lunch. Cohen told me that all through his life he had never been attracted to a variety of food. He ate only to appease his hunger, not his palate. One day, a wealthy man happened to offer an extensive and huge feast in Ramanasramam. Cohen was not invited for that. When he went to his hut that day to have his meager meal, for the first time in his life, he was troubled about food. Cohen later told me, "I never thought about food any time before or after, but on that day I was suffering. They were all eating such rich food there, and here I was eating this meager meal." When Bhagavan passed by his hut that afternoon, he asked Cohen whether he had eaten his lunch, something Bhagavan had never done before. Cohen replied that he had eaten just a little rice and vegetable, to which Bhagavan replied, "Rice and vegetable? That is very good. When I was in Virupaksha cave, for days there would be hardly any food. On some days, somebody would bring some rice. I would add water to the cooked rice and then eat it without salt. You have got rice, vegetables, salt, and even a little yogurt on top." And Cohen later told me, "After that day, not even once was I distracted by any thought of food." That is the advantage when you stay with the Master. Every defect is rooted out once and for all. Living with a Master is itself a spiritual sadhana. Cohen was with Bhagavan the whole day and sometimes in the nights too. He would say, "When staying with the Master, you have to imbibe his spiritual energy. In the night, when only a few of the serious seekers were around him, Bhagavan would tell us about the lives of ancient saints, sages, and mythological stories. But whether Bhagavan talked or was silent, his presence was surcharged with spiritual energy, and we loved to look at him and soak in that spiritual energy." Cohen once said that such proximity to the Master was very rewarding to him in that stage of his sadhana. When I asked him how this was so, he replied, "It healed those wounds I had from wasting energy on foolish expectations and upholding false values and hollow ideals. Bhagavan was pouring his grace on me. I was suddenly gripped by an overwhelming urge to surrender unreservedly to him in order that he may guide me in my spiritual hunger. Abandoning all the methods I had previously followed and all the beliefs that I had built my hopes on. That very moment, I passed on my fate and all that I was to the sacred hands of my master, Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi."